While people were honoring Dr. King in different ways across the country, one group of Central Georgians decided to pay their respects in a different way.
Marvin James spoke to members of that group. He joins us live now in studio.
Thanks, guys. Now, as a prominent civil rights leader, King was well known for leading marches and inspiring a generation to stand up for equal rights for everyone. 50 years after his assassination, Dr. King might be gone, but those that he inspired are keeping the dream alive. Two men, 7 women, 51 miles. They call themselves the Middle Georgia Dream Chasers, and for them, traveling to Alabama for the inaugural Selma to Montgomery 51-mile relay was more than just a race. It was a journey in history to honor the legacy and leadership of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
It brought tears to my eyes. He marched across that bridge from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, so that we can be able to do things like this here.
The race course mirrored the same path as the 1965 King-led march to end discrimination of voter registration, starting at the historic landmark of Brown Chapel AME Church at 6 a.m. in Selma. But instead of a grueling 5 days pace as their predecessors, this group took a little more than 9 hours on their trek to the Alabama state capitol, one step at a time.
It was so humbling to know that here we are coming up to this courthouse or the state capitol where they made it 51 miles from Selma to get here to ensure that, you know, people had a right to vote and all the civil rights that they were marching for. I was in tears, literally, you know, and the team finished, you know, the finish line at, you know, all together.
In 1965, the march started off with 3,200 people and finished with 25,000 when reaching their destination in Montgomery. This race, although only featuring 35 teams with a little more than 300 runners and cyclists, say you can still feel the presence of those trailblazers guiding them along the way.
And by me running in his footsteps, I felt like I was actually there during that particular time frame. And then me finishing that leg, I was like, gosh, I couldn't believe it. I was actually there on that street, on that legway of where he was actually marching with everyone else at that particular time frame.
This team from Middle Georgia has collectively completed several races from 5Ks to ultra marathons, but they say this experience following a king was a royal memory they'll hold on to forever.
I'm a 60s baby. I'm actually 51. I'll be 52 this year. So actually living and walking and just knowing what we was doing, that just made it just awesome. It was just an exhilarating experience, and we've been riding high ever since.
Now, the Middle Georgia Dream Chasers placed 10th out of 35 teams and 7th in co-ed teams out of 14. They were quick to say it wasn't about just when they finished, but how they finished, which was all 9 of them together crossing the finish line in Montgomery. It's a tribute they won't soon forget. Martin Luther King Jr. was 39 years old when he was assassinated.